بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome everybody in this lectures in the Quranic Enlightenment. Today we started with Allah saying, after seeking his refuge from the shaitan regime, and steadfast to the robe of Allah, all of you, and do not disperse. And remember Allah's bounty on you, where you were enemies, and he have softened your hearts, and you became with his bounty good brothers. And you were on the edge of a hole that takes you to the hellfire, and he saved you from it. That's how Allah will show you his signs, his proofs, so you might be guided. So when Allah say, what is the robe of Allah? It is the covenant of Allah. It is Allah said in the Quran, they were hit with humility wherever they go, except with a tight robe with Allah or with people, meaning with a covenant from Allah or people, a contract or a covenant. The dignified people, they keep their covenant, they keep their promises, they keep whatever they committed to. Allah asks you to fulfill your promise. So if you make a promise to Allah, fulfill it, and do not make the faith, throw the faith away after you made Allah a witness on this. So this is the greatest of manners, is to fulfill the promise that you have with Allah Azza Jal. So he will fulfill his promise to you, O humans, and he will enter your paradise. The second meaning, the contract between people and so on, and then this should be fulfilled. Allah said you should fulfill the contract. Fulfill the contracts. So the first one is the tat robe with Allah Azza wa Jal, which is the promise. Second one is the Quran. There's a hadith, it is Allah's tat tobe and his straight path. In another hadith, it is the book of Allah. It is the robe of Allah that is stretched from heaven to earth. So be with. There's an important point in here. When you steadfast, you have to first of all know what you are having steadfast on. It's the path of Allah. Because anything beside that is a destruction to the person. It's useless. It's no good. It's nulls. So you have to be, whenever you are making steadfast, is to make it for something is good, which is the robe of Allah, the tat robe of Allah. And then the second important issue, that you have to be together. You have to be all united, not to be dispersed, not to be in different groups. So if you stick to Allah's robe, to Allah's covenant, then you should be united into doing so, and be patient into this. It is, and don't do too many of questions. That is useless. And Allah the Almighty has given the surety for this nation when they are united. And whomever, Allah said in the Quran, whomever channeled the cross after it was clear to him, and take the path beside the believers, Allah will give him the path that he chose, but then he will be in the hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ told us that all groups are going to be in the hellfire except for one, that we're going to be dispersed to 70 some numbers, groups, and one of them will be saved, which is the one that follow the path of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Remember that Allah Azza wa Jal, with His bounty, became brothers. And Allah Azza wa Jal is talking about the Aus and Khazraj and Medina. They used to have wars before the Prophet ﷺ came in. When Allah brought Islam to them, they became brothers. They love each other. They are connected with themselves. They help each other on good and forbid what is evil. And that's a big bounty from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah said, He is the one who supported you with His victory and with the believers, and He has softened their hearts. If you spend everything on earth, you will not be able to soften their heart. But Allah did. So they were on the edge of the hellfire because of their disbelief, because of their sins, because of their ignorance, staying away from Allah. So Allah Azza wa Jal, whenever He had divided uh, the gains that He did from the Battle of Hunayn, some people were not happy about this division. So He والسلام, told them, and He had divided to the people from Quraysh and other people more, and there's nothing for the Ansar, maybe little. Some people from the Ansar, they felt bad. They said, the Prophet ﷺ saw his people. So Sa'd ibn Ubadah went to the Prophet ﷺ. He said, "O Prophet of Allah, this people from Al-Ansar, they find something in their hearts." So he said, "For what?" He said, "Because of the division that He gave to your people and the other Arabs, and nothing for the people of Al-Ansar." So he ﷺ said, "So where are you, Sa'd?" He said, "I'm one of my people." So the Prophet ﷺ told him, "Why don't you gather your people around me?" So they did. If they gathered, tell me. So he did, and he called them, and they all arrived. Until none of the Ansar came to the meeting. So he said, "Oh Messenger of Allah, they had all gathered from the people Ansar like you ordered me." So he went out to them, and he started thanking Allah Azza wa Jal. And then he said, "Oh people of Ansar, weren't you misguided? Allah guided you, and you were poor, and Allah made you rich. You were enemies, and Allah softened your hearts, became brothers." They said, "Yes." He said, "Why don't you Ansar say?" He said, "What do we say, O Messenger of Allah? And what do we answer you?" "All bounty is for Allah and Messenger." He said, "If you could have said, you will be truthful. You told, came as a refugee, and we take care of you. You were scared, and we made you safe. You were humiliated, and we honored you. And we believed in Allah and His Messenger." They said, "No, only bounty for Allah and Messenger." He said, "Oh Ansar, you find something of this life that I saw from people who just embrace Islam, and I love them what Allah has divided to them from this life. Don't you be satisfied, O people of Ansar, that people will go with the camels and sheep, and you leave with the Messenger of Allah. By Allah who has my soul, if people took a bath and the Ansar took a bath, I will take the bath of Al Ansar. And if it was not for the migration, I will be a person of the Ansar. Oh Allah, have mercy on the Ansar and their sons and their grandkids and kids." So people start crying until their beards got wet. And this is we accepted Allah as a Lord and His Messenger as a share, our share. And then they left. And it was another narration, he said, that people the Prophet ﷺ wanted to say how close they are. He said they are like the undergarment where it touches the skin, and the other people are from the outer part. So it says it came in the Aws al Khazraq that one of the Jews he passed by some people from the Aws, and he didn't like that they were in harmony. So he wanted to start the affliction between them and to remind them of what happened at the wars between them. So he did until people got very, very aggressive. So that came to the Prophet ﷺ. He said, "Are you asking for something of the time of ignorance, and I'm between you?" And then he started this ayah. So they stopped and they shook hands and they put their swords away. We tell our brothers that group is mercy and the spirit is painful. And this will remind us of what happened to our brothers in Gaza and how they are being bombarded unjustly, and we have to be united. And Allah telling us not to be dispersed, because if we are, that's the way of losing. Allah's victory does not come into people who are dispersed. Ali ibn Abi Talib said to the Khawarij, he tried to get them in his side, and they were the worst against the Muslims, fighting them and getting out of the means. He told them that he will not stop them from the whatever they earn as long as their hands with the Muslims, and he will never start to fight them unless they committed killing or stopped in the path of the Muslims, and he will not stop them from their share if they attribute it to the fight. So when it comes to resistance and to stop the aggression, there's a lot of areas for everybody in Qibla that the whole nation of Muslims, they still get together. So if you can deal with non-Muslims with enjoying goodness and fair, so if that happens with non-Muslims, what do you think is going to be with Muslims? What do you think is going to be with non-Muslims? The same or more? It was settled that the Sharia is to bring the best of conditions and to destroy some of the worst. Rules of Sharia stress on unity and is against the dispersed. And as the Prophet ﷺ said, it is the one that shaves, not the one that serves the. And from so many programs you participate, and to leave all the issues in between the Muslims and leave it alone on the side, and not to indulge into those, because your statement is to fear Allah and to bring what is good between you, and do not does not as the Prophet ﷺ said that when you ruin people's relationship, it's not going to shave the hair, no, but it will shave the religion. and does not. We should find a common ground that we could work together into the Palestinian issue, and to do all the possible ways an agreement on some of the mechanism and to bring it. So the freedom of Al-Aqsa should be the main thing for all Muslims, that all the Muslims agree on to support this religion. It will unite their word, it will unite their effort, and let people unite. And to stop the aggression and to protect the valuables. And it is the duty of all the Muslims in supporting the Muslims in Gaza. And they have to do every possible way to hurt, to help. Everybody can do the thing that they can, either by combating the media, the unfair media, or to uh, so many ways each one of us is capable of doing something. And the support of fiqh and all the programs that is supporting the resistance, the political, by putting more politics. And still continue the and not to forget our brothers and sisters who are under continuous bombardment for the last 100 plus days. And Allah told us to endure what is good and forbid what is evil. And we come to the conclusion, inshallah, we'll make dua. May Allah ease the hardship in Gaza.